The year is 1895. World-renowned Venezuelan pianist Teresa Carreño is in her dressing room, preparing to make her first public appearance after an absence of 2 years. The pressures of a third divorce, plus many attempts to locate a daughter she had been forced to give up for adoption years earlier, had forced a temporary retirement on the exhausted virtuoso. Carreño, grandniece of the great Simón Bolívar and daughter of the former Venezuelan Minister of Finance, hailed as one of the leading pianists of her generation, now returns to her brilliant career, performing not only the works of the masters, but also introducing new composers, such as Edward MacDowell, Edvard Grieg, Camille Saint-Saëns, and Scott Joplin. Encouraged by critics and fans, and heartened by her recent success at locating her long-lost daughter Emilita, Carreño eagerly anticipates the moment of her re-emergence into the concert world. But moments before she is to go on stage, Carreño receives an unexpected letter from Emilita.
Dear Madame Carreño, I wish I could call you mother, but I find I cannot. You still are nothing to me. Your visit 2 years ago was very disturbing, as were all your attempts at communicating with me. I was not the one who put myself up for adoption when I was a baby. Please, do me, my husband, my children, and yourself the courtesy of not calling on me again. I am returning the tickets you sent to me for your concert, despite the fact that this is your first appearance in more than 2 years. I hope that it is not too late for you to find a more compassionate person than I to occupy the seat. I remain, Emilita Hoffmann.
You've given 5,489 concerts in your life. You know the music. You've been practicing every day for the last 6 months. What you have to do is concentrate. Chopin, Troisième Ballade.
I wish I could call you mother, but you are nothing to me. Nothing to me. I wish I could call you mother, but you are nothing to me.
Perdóname, I can't play this ballad. I played it a lot when Emilita, my daughter, was a baby, and it reminds me of her. I play something else. What's the next piece on the programma? Oh, yes, Schumann. Good, I play that.
Nothing to me. I wish I could call you mother, but you are nothing to me.
The horror is not the peace, it's the pain. I tried to explain everything to her, to Emilita, my daughter, about her father and me. Dios mío, what am I doing? No es importante. You came to hear Carreño, to hear me play. And Carreño will play for you now. Schumann, Intermezzo. Por Dios, que tonta. It was frivolous of me to run off and marry that boy. But we were in love, madly and passionately enamorados. And both of us just 16, students at the Paris Conservatoire. We didn't stick to our practice schedules. How could we? We couldn't keep our hands off each other. Emil was a violinist. A good one. I used to kiss him on that mark violinists get on the side of their neck from playing the violin. I made my own mark on the other side of his neck. What will people think about that, Emil? Oh, they'll think I can bow with either hand. Oh, Emil, you are one handsome Don Juan. But your jacket hangs, your buttons are popping off. And when are you gonna buy some underwear, eh? Oh, my father was against Emil. Estúpida, muchacha tonta, sew on his buttons. You'll never sew on mine. Mend his clothes, cook for him if you must. You'll never cook for me. But don't marry him, por Dios, he's just an overgrown baby. Oh, Papa, you're jealous. You want to keep me at home so you can order me around. I'm not a little girl, Father. I'm 16, I'm grown up. I am. We married. That gave my father a good excuse to stop supporting me. That didn't bother me. I expected the world to open up and offer us one concert after another. After all, we were both gifted, both child prodigies, both won many prizes. But there were no concerts. Because of the war between the French and the Prussians, everything stopped. Except, of course, for the fighting. Well, everything but the nightlife. Nothing stops the nightlife, not even a war. Ooh la la! Emil and I found a job playing in the Can-Can Orchestra. I got paid extra to play during the intermissions. I play Chopin, one of my favorite composers. Did I put this piece on the programma? Well, I should have. Etude by Chopin. I got pregnant. Well, it was not easy to play the piano with a belly out like this. So, I changed my style of playing from Chopin with energy to Chopin with no energy. On that chord, I went into labor. Emil, get the midwife. Don't worry, Teresa. I take care of everything. He did. He really did. He was wonderful. He held my hand while I screamed. And in a few hours, there she was. Little Emilita. We never considered another name. It was Emil or Emilita. Well, the war didn't stop. The Can-Can Orchestra didn't pay enough. We now had 3 mouths to feed, so we went to talk to our manager. I know concert life in Europe is dead. How about the United States? I can get you enough engagements there for 6 months. What do we do with Emilita? Take her with you. Oh, no. Impossible. She's delicate. She wouldn't survive 6 months of traveling from place to place. One night here, one night there. But Emil insisted. We need the money desperately. We did need the money. Desperately. So with a sinking feeling in my stomach, we left Emilita with Emil's cousin and went to the United States. We played Washington, New York, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. 100 concerts in 6 months. Woo! Most of the concerts were for me. They wanted me more than they wanted Emil. No sé por qué. Maybe because I had a more colorful history. Venezuelan virtuoso conquers New York, the papers wrote. They wrote about me more than they wrote about Emil. Well, that made him angry. Very angry. I'm not Senor Teresa Carreño. I'm Senor Emil Soré, and stop tapping your foot all the time we're playing together, Teresa. Do you think I can't count? He left me. He went back to Paris. I tried to finish the tour alone, but I couldn't. I went home. Emil? Emilita? Hey, little baby, Mama's home. The place was empty, except for one chair and my piano. I have moved out, Emil said. Moved out. ¿Qué pasa? Is this a joke? Emil, what's going on? Where's Emilita? Ay, Madre Santa, I couldn't believe what he was telling me. I couldn't believe what he'd done. Adoption? Adoption agency. No lo creo. ¿Qué? ¿Estás loco? What adoption agency? ¿Cómo puedes hacer semejante cosa? I couldn't believe he was so angry that he could do such a thing to me, to Emilita, and to himself. Yo estaba furiosa. If I see you again, I kill you! The adoption agency refused to tell me where she was. But I'm her mother. Here's my identification. Here's her birth certificate. What more do you want? Do they have any rights? I'm her mother. No, and you're underage. But what about the father? We're almost the same age, and he's not in his right mind. He's loco. He's over 18, and he's the husband. I get her back. I get her back, you see. I swear to you, I get her back! I was 17. You see, I always knew I wanted to succeed, but now I knew I had to succeed to get Emilita back. Well, I went back to my exercises. Always exercises. I had been playing them since I'm 3. I wonder if Emilita ever had piano lessons. A shame if she didn't. Oh, my father was my first teacher. Pay attention, Teresita. Let's hear those scales again. No scales, no chocolates. My father was a good musician, but he wanted somebody very famous to teach me. So, right after we moved to New York from Venezuela, he took me to hear a very famous pianist named Louis Moro Gottschalk. Gottschalk is a Creole, Father said, from Louisiana. Well, what's a Creole, I ask? Oh, in Gottschalk's case, I think he's half black and half French. I guess my father was trying to prepare me for Gottschalk's exotic looks. But nothing prepared me for what he did when he came out on the stage to play. First, he looked under the piano to make sure nothing was there. Then he looked in the piano to make sure nothing was there too. Then he took off his fur mittens, blew on his fingers, took out an enormous cigar, blew out a huge puff of smoke. Then he gently caressed the keys. Then, and only then, he played. Oh, and how he played! My father arranged an audition for me immediately. 10 minutes, no more. I'm tired of mamas and papas bringing me their little geniuses. Gottschalk liked it too. He said to my father, "C'est formidable. You sure she's only 8 years old? You sure she's not a midget?" For my debut, I insisted on playing a Mendelssohn concerto. A Mendelssohn concerto, Gottschalk roared. "I won't have it. You're only a child. You're still playing with your dolls."
If that's the only problem, senor, I won't take my dolls with me. Not one of them knows how to play the piano anyway, senor.
So, I play the Mendelssohn, senor. Little Mozart, they call me. I am Teresa the First, not Mozart the Second. Oh, Senor Gottschalk got for me an invitation to play for Presidente Lincoln.
Invention by Bach, senor.
Gracias, senor. Could I play something simpler? Sí, senor, sí, sí, of course. Can I what, senor? Play your favorite piece. Listen to the mockingbird? Sí, senor. Sí, sí. Of course. He loved it. It really was his favorite piece. Well, by now, my father was really getting excited about my success. "We're going to Europe," he announced. "A permanent, lasting career depends on a European stamp of approval." But, Papa, we just got here from Venezuela, and what about Senor Gottschalk? Oh, we sailed for Paris anyway. I was 12. The press was very curious about me. Everyone I met seemed to be interested in me. I wish they'd been as interested in me 6 years later when I went back to look for Emilita. In Paris, I met the great Italian opera composer, Gioacchino Rossini. He was very, very old, very, very fat, must have weighed 500 pounds. Dios mío, he was so tremendous. He had a dining room table especially carved out to fit his big belly. And Mrs. Rossini brought him everything, roasted chickens and fruit pies. Oh, how she indulged him. Oyeme, some say she even brought him his mistresses. But they stayed married for almost 50 years. Oh, Emilita, it wasn't my fault he left. I didn't want to give you up. I didn't want to lose you. Now, on the other hand, Franz Liszt was tall and slender and had long white hair. He was dressed like a priest.
Why you dressed like that, Senor Liszt?
Because I am a monk, my child. I wondered about that. Later, I found out he had led a sinful, wicked life. He'd been a drinker and father of 5 illegitimate children to 4 different mothers. Wah! A real mujeriego. Ah, Mephisto Waltz by Liszt. I love it. He wrote it before he became a monk. I finish it. Gracias. Liszt put his hand on my head. Someday you will be one of us, he said. Oh, no. I want to be a pianist, not a monk. He offered to teach me in Rome where he lived. Oh, I would have loved to go. I would have followed him anywhere. Too much money. He wants too much money, my father said. So instead, I went to the Paris Conservatoire on a scholarship. I didn't mind. I liked Paris, even though the Parisians made fun of my accent. I'm an American, I told them. I have a New York accent. I am a Yankee. Oh, I began to compose when I was a student in Paris. This I wrote for my father. I'm afraid it sounds like Liszt. This I wrote for my mother. No, I think that's too reminiscent of Mendelssohn. Now, some composers I could never, ever imitate, even if I wanted to. Like this late Beethoven sonata. He wrote it in 1825, and he was deaf. Who knows what this could lead to, Very intriguing. I was outraged when I found out that some of Robert Schumann's music was actually written by his wife, Clara, and that many of Felix Mendelssohn's pieces were written by his sister, Fanny. Well, I'm not going to change my name to Pedro, or Miguel, or Georges, like Madame Sand, to get my music published. I will do it on my own. That's what I told my piano teacher at the Paris Conservatoire, Anton Rubinstein. Well, that seemed to annoy him. I don't know why. So, my dear Teresa, what are you going to work on today,
Hitting the right notes, senor?
Listen, my dear Teresa. How about learning what's between the notes, Go out and have an affair, then you'll understand what music is really about. I ignored him and his advice. But then I met Emil. All right, Teresa, Rubinstein said, it's time to prepare for your concert. Play now, and this time, play just like me. Why? Because I am the great Rubinstein. Well, I am the great Carreño. Oh, I play for you now the piece I play for him. Schumann, Faschingsschwank aus Wien. Right after the concert, Emil and I ran off together. When I finally found Emilita, I told her the whole story. I went to see her. I told her she wasn't illegitimate. I told her I didn't abandon her. No te quise perder. No te quise abandonar. I told her I spent years looking for her. I told her I had to get very famous before the authorities would even agree to help me locate her. Then a little girl came running up to Emilita. A beautiful child with big brown eyes. My granddaughter. She looked up at me. Wer sind Sie? Ich bin deine Großmutter. I was about to embrace her, but Emilita stopped her. It's no one, Herzchen. Just this woman who stopped in to ask for directions. She seems to have lost her way. Emilita looked at me with hard, cold eyes. I don't think we can help you, madame. Guten Tag. I left my calling card on the table. What more could I have done? What more could I have said? Perdóneme, I would like to take just a little time, please. And then I promise I come back and finish the concert. ¿Qué le pasa a los hombres? Estúpidos, idiotas. I didn't want another husband. I didn't want to get married again. But then Giovanni came into my life. Giovanni Giuseppe Battista Tagliapietra. I just call him Tag. I didn't want to fall in love with him, I really didn't. But he was handsome, he was funny, he was Italian. An opera singer. He treated me like a lady. I needed that. He made love to me. I needed that too. I told him all about Emil and Emilita. I help you find Emilita, he said. That did it. I moved in with him. I didn't have an official divorce from Emil. I couldn't find him. A common law marriage suits me just fine, Tag said. Suits me just fine too, I said. We had a baby, a girl. We named her Lulu. Such a sweet baby. Never cried. Tag, bring the bank books. I think we saved enough to get back to Paris and find my lost baby. Oh no. ¿Cómo puedes hacer semejante cosa? A poker game? Oh, Tag, how could you? You know how much this means to me. ¿Cómo te atreves? ¡Qué mala suerte! A poker game. We went on tour with the circus, Barnum and Bailey. You know, with the animals. We had to. They paid more money. Oh, we took Lulu with us. I wasn't going to make that mistake again. In Kansas that summer, oh, it was hot. Come quick, Senora! The baby! She's on fire! Her fever keeps going up and up! I held Lulu while we waited for the doctor. Oh, no. No, 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 no! ¡Ay, Dios mío, what are you punishing me for? ¿Por qué no me puedes perdonar? 2 babies, one somewhere where I can't find her. The other, muerta. Well, God gave us another child, another girl. We named her Teresita after me. Maybe that would be a lucky name. 1 year later, we had a son. We named him Giovanni. Gracias, Dios mío. An invitation to the Bolivar Centenale in Caracas to be the star performer. Simon Bolivar was my great uncle, the George Washington of South America, they call him. I felt I owed it to my family and to my country. We all went to Venezuela. Me, Tag, Teresita, Giovanni, and Arturo, Tag's younger brother. Arturo came along to help out with the children. Viva Teresita! Viva Teresita, they shouted. Oh, they treated me like visiting royalty. They threw flowers at me. They had receptions and parties in my honor. It was wonderful. But Tag didn't feel good about it. He felt he had nothing to celebrate. He felt left out. He gambled. He piled up big debts. He was drunk in public. Oh, they turned against him. Then they turned against me. Tag's gambling and drinking destroy him and humiliate me. But why should it bother them? I found packages of human feces on my doorstep, rotten eggs smeared on the windows and the doors. Yankee, go home! They didn't want me anymore. How could they do such things? I don't understand my people, mi propia gente. How dare they be so critical of my personal life? I decided I was no longer a Venezuelan. Pack up everything, I said. I won't be treated like this. We're going home to New York. Viva Nueva York! I finally had enough money to go and try and find Emilita. I went to Paris. I marched right to the adoption agency. I've come for my child. This time, I have some money, and I'm not under 18 anymore. We regret, madame. We wish we could help you, but we can do nothing. Once a child has been given up for adoption, it's final. The law is the law. You can't tell me it's not a question of money. I knew I had to get rich. Muy rica. So, I went on a big concert tour. All over the United States. I gave nearly 600 concerts in 5 years. Introduce new composers, Greek. Oh, Scott Joplin. Like this? Well, I like it too. I finish it. Edward MacDowell. Do you know this piece? No. Oh, I thought I made him famous. Well, it's called To a Wild Rose. Every day, I put more and more money in the bank under a separate account. I even hid the house money under the mattress. Tag had just found a job as lead singer with the New York Opera Company, but he was still gambling and drinking more than ever. I had to leave him. Teresa, I'm earning money now. I can be a good husband and a good father. Give me another chance. I almost gave in. But my brother-in-law, Arturo, said, get away from him. He never changed. He destroy you. And I say this of my own brother. Oh, Arturo was right. I was no good for Tag. He was no good for me. The more successful I became, the more he drank, the more he gambled. I left him. I went back to Paris. I used the money I saved to hire detectives to try and find Emilita. Weeks passed. Months passed. We're sorry they wrote, but we can find nothing. If you want us to continue, send more money. I sent more money. Months went by. More money than a year. More money than 2 years. I wrote a letter to Presidente Grover Cleveland of the United States and to Emperor Napoleon III of France. Well, meanwhile, I had decided to settle in Germany. Germany was a big beehive of musicians, and I could be close to Paris, close to the detective agency. Every morning in my apartment on die Dichterstrasse, I practiced my German. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wie geht es Ihnen? Es geht mir gut. Entschuldigen Sie bitte, es macht nichts. Was wollen Sie, Frau Steuermann? Ja, I'll keep it down. I'm sorry if I disturbed you. I practiced my piano 6 hours a day. She never complained about that. 2 minutes of my German and must be my New York accent. Well, anyway, I had to play the piano. I play this to the end. Scherzo by Chopin. just remember, Eugene was playing the same piece at a party. Eugene d'Albert, he was a composer, a conductor, and one of the most famous pianists in Europe. I introduced myself to him. So you're d'Albert. So you're Carreño. We stared at each other. He was not good looking and he didn't have a nice voice, but he had a beautiful smile. He was 23. I was 33. I married him. He didn't mind my being older. I didn't mind my being older. The newspapers minded. They wrote stories about the hot-blooded, middle-aged Spaniard and her new husband, a young Frenchman. Well, at least I still know how to make love, I told them. We were celebrities. What can you expect? Something for them to gossip about. We had 2 children, 2 girls, Hertha and Eugenia. We toured all over Europe together. Nobody, but nobody was ever left at home. 4 children, a housekeeper, 2 cats, 3 birds, and 25 trunks. Woo! A real menagerie, huh? And what an ordeal. But what a wonderful and exciting life. We gave concerts for 2 pianos. We gave concerts for 1 piano, 4 hands, and shared the same piano bench. Sometimes Eugene conducted and I played, and sometimes I just sat and watched him play. This time, this marriage is going to work, I said to myself, and to anyone else who happened to be listening. But Eugene was not happy with the fact that his piano playing was not as well received as his conducting. I'm a pianist, he said. Eugene, fame is fame. Take what you can get. What difference does it make? It makes a difference to me, he said. He used that as an excuse to have affairs with other women. I filed for divorce. I was furious. I'll get you for this, you see. I'll get you in your pocketbook where it will hurt. I'll get custody of our children and I'll get child support too. Eugene tried to declare me insane and therefore an unfit mother. Now, why do you think she's an unfit mother? The judge asked. Well, she's too nervous, smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day. She's hysterical before concerts. She's hysterical after concerts. Screams, curses in front of the children. Keeps a gun in the piano. He was right. Everything he said was not untrue, but the judge awarded me custody of the children and child support anyway. Was it only because of my reputation as a pianist? Of course. What else? It wasn't because I was a woman or a fit mother. Oh, it was the right decision, but for the wrong reason. Well, Eugene was out of my life. Another husband. Out of my life. Oh, this was the time I went to try and find Emilita. Again. Well, by now you know, I was very famous. So, of course, the American embassy, at the request of Presidente Grover Cleveland, agreed to go to work on my problem. They were able to do what nobody else was able to do. They found Emilita. She was living in Berlin, not 2 miles from my house. I went to see her. I know I was a stranger to her, but I'm still her mother.
You are nothing to me. Nothing to me. Nothing to me. You are nothing to me.
She said I was nothing to her. My daughter called me nothing. Three times I went back to see her. Each time she refused to see me, so I wrote and wrote and wrote. No answer. For 2 years, I couldn't give a concert. I began to smoke more than ever. I burnt holes in my clothing. I burnt holes in the piano keys. I felt I did not want to live anymore. One night, I wrote all my names down on paper. Teresa Carreño Sorey. Failure! Teresa Carreño Tagliapietra. Failure! Teresa Carreño d'Albert. Teresa Carreño Sorey Tagliapietra d'Albert.
Dear Madame Carreño, I wish I could call you mother, but I find I cannot. You are still nothing to me.
What kind of woman are you? What have you done with your life? Dios! Maybe I never should have become an artist. Maybe I should stop playing the piano. Is that what you want, God? What do you want? Do you want me to stop playing the piano? Oh no, Mama. My daughter Eugenia said, you can't do that. I tell all my friends in school, my mama is Teresa Carreño. Teresa Carreño. Teresa Carreño. Of course. Not Teresa Sorey. Not Teresa Tagliapietra. Not Teresa d'Albert. Teresa Carreño. This is my first concert in 2 years. I play for you now. I play for you the piece I could not finish in the beginning.
I could call you mother, but you are nothing to me.
No! That's enough! It's time to cry no more, to grieve no more. Chopin, troisième ballade. Just before this concert, Arturo came to talk to me backstage. Arturo, my ex-brother-in-law. I've been waiting for you for 20 years, Teresa, he said. I've always loved you. Marry me. And if you won't marry me, at least let me be your secretary. I can help you with letters, travel arrangements, the cooking, the shopping, the children, everything, just keeping your life in order. I think I have to say yes. I think I want to say yes. Arturo has always known I am Teresa Carreño. Thank you, everybody. You have all been wonderful. I hope I see you again. Gracias, buenas noches. Schumann, Träumerei, Arturo's favorite piece.